big, like really big things, you cannot do it on your own. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you want to just stay small in your own.
Yeah, facts. Facts. One of the best things, not one of the best things, most of the best things that I've done, um, most of the best things that I've done, regarding advertising or regarding like graphic design, digital design, most of the best things that I've done, if not all of the best things that, if not most of them, were from me working with other people. When I say working with other people, it's not, oh, they gave me the idea. No, we came up with the idea together. I executed it. Someone said, "Yo, try doing it this way," and I did it. I took the person's advice. I said, "Okay, let me see what this person has been doing this thing for a while," and I did that thing the way the person did it, the way the person said, the way the person advised me to, and I've been published, like work that I've done or work that I was part of has been published. We've won awards with stuff like that. Um, even Ronsi himself. There was a time that I was working on. It was a personal project with one of my comrades and very good friends, Wayne. It was this NSARS campaign, and so we wanted to make an impact. We wanted to do something different. We wanted to um make a mark, and I believe we did. But if we didn't take Ronsi's advice as a seasoned creative director, if we didn't take his advice, especially with the art direction, with the copy, if we didn't take his advice, I highly doubt that the impact would be the same. It probably would have just been, um, oh, this is really nice and that's it. This is nice and that's it. When we took his advice, we trended. We trended for probably 3 to 4 hours with reposts, reblogs. It was crazy. It was like it was some seriously insane stuff that I never even imagined I would be able to do, like in my life. And that's a testament to when you want to do something. There's this quote that every time I'm trying to do something alone, I go back to, and it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people, go together. All my life, I've been moving fast. All my life. Like even like literally double promotions, um, speeding through university, um, quickly getting a job, all my life, quickly getting promotions, quickly moving up in my career and stuff. All my life, I've been moving really fast. But when I started making significant impact was when I did stuff together with people. Most of the, even from my university days, most of the things that I did well, I did it with others. Group assignments, group work, team work, most of the things that I've done that left an impact were with other people. Every single time. Even with my babe, most of like when I want to do something and I feel like when I want to do it alone and I involve my babe, it usually goes well. When I want to do something and I involve my parents or my siblings, it usually goes well, like very well. It goes far better than it would have gone if I did it alone. And I've done a lot of things alone to know that I'm not just saying that because, oh, what if? No, I've done a lot of things alone. Yes, it makes a nice spark, it makes a beautiful splash in the pond, right? But when I do stuff with other people, and I'm sure most people will be able to attest to this. But when you do stuff in groups, when you do stuff, and not just other people, but people with like minds, people that actually want to grow, people that actually want to move forward, right, with that kind of thing, it usually goes like very, very well. So yeah, no, this is heavy facts. This is heavy facts that they're saying, that they're talking about right now. So yeah.
Be king of your own
your small jungle.
Small jungle.
The four of us had to come together to make this work.
Facts.
All of this was an idea that was just somewhere inside my head for a long time. But until I shared it with like-minded people, and then it looked like we could do it.
And there are people behind the scenes now that you guys can't even see.
Yeah.
That are doing some things.
You know what I'm saying?
They are doing activities on this. You can't even see them.
Wow.
Some people are afraid to collaborate.
We are not
because
self-made.
of self-made.
So people should stop these self-made statements. It's not true. You're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying.
Honestly, man, I don't think we can overflog this issue. It will always boil down to you as a man being self-aware enough to understand what you have and what you do not have.
So first of all, self-awareness.
Yes.
And then you'll be able to ask for help.
Do you understand?
Shouldn't be shy to ask for help.
And you can go ahead and ask for help.
Wise enough to know to ask.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's what being a man too is. You're wise enough to know to ask.
Yeah.
You should go ahead because you know what you're asking for. You know the help, the particular help you need.
Man, this is crazy because all of this is just bringing back memories in my own life.
So he said self-awareness, right? To know yourself and know what you lack. And then wisdom. Wisdom to know who to ask, right? And who can give you what you lack or who can help you out with what you need. That's this bull guy is his Okpolo Day, man. The guy is good, man. The guy is good. I mean, the panel is a solid panel. Like, panel is a solid panel.
About how many things could have I've spoken to you a couple of times, bro, to let you know how, like, okay, so maybe I'll just drop this one and I'll just call it a day.
Drop it like
right? So, if you do have your father in your life, if you do have a father, he may be a silent father, probably didn't always do everything right, but go back home to that guy. Maybe he has never hugged you before.
Yeah,
maybe he has never held you before and said, son, I love you. But go back to that guy, hold him
and
hug
say,
him and
say,
guy, I love you. And I need you to not go to the grave with all the experience that you have.
I'm telling you.
Take it from me, yo.
I'm telling you.
If you have a father that is alive, do you understand?
One thing I just really missed that really helped me about my father was that he was vulnerable with me. You understand? Men have egos, generally. So my father was vulnerable with me. He was vulnerable with his mistakes.
That's where the knowledge is coming from.
That is not Nigerian or even Yoruba to start with. That I could correct my dad. So it's one day I had to come and say, Dad, why is this like this? He said, bro, this, I made mistake here, I made mistake here. It first made me understand that it's okay to make mistakes. And when you make that mistake, move on from it. But he was able to share with me. He was vulnerable with me. He didn't have all the answers.
Yeah.
But that helped me to find the answers I needed. And even when I found some answers, I came back to him with the answers. I said, Dad, this is the answer to this thing we're talking about. And he looked at it and said, wow, this is a good answer.
Yeah.
So, if you're a father, you need to stand up.
And if you have one,
and if you have one,
good child,
you need to make sure that you solidify that relationship with your father. Forget about any way you feel about him. Give it another 10 years. You will understand things from his perspective. Everybody's all, my dad was never around. He had to work. We will talk about this in another episode, but you need to know how hard it is to be a man.
Whoa.
Do you understand? It's very, very hard. And sometimes they make mistakes and sometimes they cannot pass on that knowledge like your father did. So it's on you now to learn. Maybe we are exposed. We're living in the Gen Z era where everybody has information. Good. Take this information. Go and meet your daddy. Hold him. Tell him, sir, I know that you've not done everything right, but I need to learn. Even if I don't need to learn from the abundance of your good deeds, I need to learn from your mistakes. So I don't repeat some of the mistakes you made. then drops mic.
The mic has dropped.
Drops mic.
Pick it
And
up.
that's what
It
we
will
do.
be picked up in
Brother
the
Man
next
Asylum.
episodes.
No one saying, okay, as usual. Producer will kill me if you do not follow, like, subscribe. Please do. Help us. We
on the
need
screen.
to keep doing this. Help us.
Help.
Help us,
Alright.
Blue. Brother Man Asylum _ Brother Man
We are not
_
posing.
Asylum
I'm not posing,
on
Abi.
IG. Help
When we
us.
blow, we can start posing now.
Help us.
We are not
We
posing.
don't have
Let me-
pride.
let me
No
move
pride.
this
And we are
on.
not afraid to ask for help.
We need help.
We need
So
help.
Brother Man _ Asylum on IG, the Brother Man Asylum podcast on YouTube, and it is Brother Man like Niger style, BRODAMAN
_ asylum.
Thank you very much.
AS Y
LU.
LUM.
Don't allow Popsy. Guys,
Where this
he's
is?
saying-
They'll cut it out so it's like I did the shout, bro.
You don't cut it out. You don't cut it out.
You
You don't cut it out.
Anyways, guys, we'll see you next episode. Peace out. Peace out.
Yeah, this was fantastic. This was fantastic. Like everything, like, okay, not everything, but most of the things they said were very, very relatable. There's stuff that, if you think about it, most people, most men, most young men go through it. The fact that either there's not even that. I think Ronsi wanted to say something, but maybe the thoughts escaped his mind. I think he wanted to say something about the idea of people not asking or looking for mentors due to pride. For some people, it might not necessarily be pride. For some people, they just haven't done the introspection. For some people, they don't know how to ask for help. Like, personally, I'm one of those people that I'm still learning how to ask for help. Most times I only ask for help when I'm almost out, when I'm down, when I'm like almost off it. And it's a terrible trait. And I think again it's something that when you identify the root cause of those things, right? You have to know who you are. You have to know the type of person you are. You have to know your characteristics. You have to know your strengths, your weaknesses. You have to know what you want out of life. And when you get to know that, that's when you can flourish. That's when you can fly. That's when you can definitely move forward in life. And yeah, sometimes when you find yourself in the shark-infested waters of life, if you're drowning, right, you know the help that you need. Please, someone throw me a lion, or someone throw me a life jacket or something, or a floater. You know what you need. And they said something about the fact that most people don't ask for help because they don't know the consequences. Like, they can't see the consequences of them not asking for help. And that's a very, very scary thing, because sometimes it's until you get into some certain situations and you're like, oh, wow, I actually needed to do this, or I actually need some help here. Sometimes it might be too late. Most times you don't need to go through something to learn the hard way. That's learning the hard way. Most people have gone through what you're going through. Forget about the generational thing. Most people have gone through what you're going through. Is it distractions? Is it trying to make money? Is it trying to get a good spouse? Is it trying to manage your family? Is it trying to train or raise kids? Is it trying to do with addictions? Is it trying to change your career? There is nothing that any older person that you can look up to wouldn't have a relationship with, or a relation with, right? So again, the basic thing is that you need to do some self-introspection. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you lack. And then you need to know what you need, right? And once you pinpoint those things, the next thing is to identify. You need to have the wisdom of who knows what you need to know. Who can teach you what you need to know? How do you contact that person? How do you get to that person, right? And then the final thing is find a way to reach out to the person. If it's his pride that is holding you back, swallow the pride, right? Swallow it, because in the long run, it's going to be worth it, right? If it is shyness, or you're not a very good communicator, or you're not used to asking for help, identify why that is. Try to reach out to someone that you trust. Because another thing that I've noticed with communication is that most times why I don't communicate as well as I should is because it's deeply rooted in trust. And now that I've pinpointed that, it makes it a little easier for me to talk with people. It makes it a little easier to ask for help, because I only ask for help from people that I trust their opinions on certain things. Again, I'm going to be honest. I don't ask my dad for everything on advice. There's some things that I ask my uncle for, and because that's what he does. Because I want to go in that particular path. I ask my uncle for that. There's some things that I ask my dad for. I'm like, oh, how did you do this? There's some things that I ask my aunties for. How did you manage this? How did you manage that? Not just male perspective sometimes, but to also get that female perspective, to know what could offend. Because again, I'm dating. I want to know, okay, this is good for a relationship. This is bad for a relationship. There's some things that, you might not be comfortable asking, like family members or stuff like that. That's fine. That's good and dandy. But just make sure that when you identify those things that you need, those things that you lack, and you found someone that you trust enough to ask for their advice, and you've been able to summon the courage or swallow the pride, right, to talk to that person, that should be the main focus. And at the end of the day, your goal, the end goal that you have in mind, should, be the main motivator for you. So, yeah, this was a very solid one. I really love this. I really love the podcast. Take care, stay safe, and yeah, see you guys later.
Were you seriously just going to enjoy the video and not like, or leave a comment, or subscribe? Really? Really?